Hey, what up? It's your boy. JAV, Japanese Adult Videos, is a market that is absolutely mammoth-sized. For a country that has a childbearing problem and a depleting population, it really is interesting just how much Japanese people love adult videos. Is it because the adult videos are just so goddamn better than anything that Brazzers and Bang Bros are able to supply to the Western market? Not necessarily. I mean, it certainly is a totally different type of adult video, but I think there is something fundamental about how repressed sexually a lot of Japanese people are in Japan in the modern day and age. So when this news story came out about a man and a woman being arrested for allegedly hosting a 120-member sex party in central Japan, I was shocked, but also not shocked at the same time. Shizuoka Prefectural Police arrested Teruaki Taguchi, 54, goddamn, a self-proclaimed self-defense forces official from Narashino, Chiba Prefecture, and Saiko Kato, 51, who claims to be a nurse from the city of Funabashi, also in Chiba Prefecture, on suspicion of assisting public indecency. Police said that they have both admitted to the allegations against them. The two are suspected to have hosted a sex party involving some 120 people at a rental vacation home in Shizuoka Prefecture city of Kosai, facing Lake Hamana, from June 11 to 12. According to prefectural police, they gathered participants through social media and other means, and each individual paid a fee of around 10,000 yen, about $74 to join. Now, there's probably a lot of questions that are floating around, so let's go through them one by one. First of all, I find it very difficult to believe that there is a vacation home somewhere in Shizuoka that can host 120 people. Like that, this isn't America. This is Japan we're talking about. It's fucking well known how small Japanese properties are. Like, you look at a house that says it's fit for a family, in anywhere else in the world, it's basically a shoe cabinet. So, first of all, how in the hell did these two 50-something-year-old people manage to find a property that can host 120 people? I find that hard to believe, first and foremost. Like, it's pretty difficult to find anywhere, even in the States, that can house 120 people. Not even the biggest mansions in the world can hold 100 people inside of it. So when they say vacation home, I don't actually know whether they mean a vacation home or they just mean, like, you know, a warehouse of sorts. There is a really famous video actually in the JAV world that Aki actually showed me, where it's like 100-something couples inside of this warehouse all having smacks at the same time. So that shit was pretty hilarious. I just imagined that immediately. And that video is a trip. I'm obviously not going to show it in this video, but if you can somehow manage to find it online, because it is online, yeah, it's a trip. And second of all, the other question is that each individual paid a fee of around 10,000 yen, around $74 to join. Quick maths, if there was 120 people there, these fuckers made like a lot of money. I can't do math in my head right now, so I'll just put the price on the screen, but anyone can tell that's a lot of freaking money for an orgy. But the third and final point I want to cover, we will talk about after we read this particular paragraph. In addition, police arrested two individuals on the scene on suspicion of public indecency for allegedly hugging each other while completely naked at the orgy venue at around 3:40 a.m. on June 12. The two, a 52-year-old man proclaiming to be a company manager and a 34-year-old woman claiming to be a vocational school student, are believed to have been participants in the orgy. Police have been investigating the case after information was anonymously provided to the National Police Agency. So someone at this orgy fucking snitched on them. That ain't cool. But here's the biggest question I have with this story, and I'm sure this is the biggest question that everyone is probably having after hearing me read this news article. But it's a very simple question. Are orgies illegal in Japan? Because it's something that you don't really hear about in the court of law. You know, you hear about people having orgies and stuff like that, but you think it's just like a weird endeavor. You don't think it's an actual, like, illegal activity. But supposedly in Japan, you know, if you host a 120-person orgy at your mate's place, yeah, that's apparently illegal activity. So I was curious, so I went ahead and looked it up on condomdepot.com. Good to know that there is a site called condomdepot.com. And they have an article here called Sex Laws. Are orgies illegal? I guess a lot of people have been asking this question, so they were like, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. So according to this website, and I don't know exactly to the accuracy of the information on this website, basically the legal ramifications around orgies is pretty gray zoned. I'll leave this article down in the description below, as well as the Mainichi article about the 120 person orgy down in the description, so you can go check it out for yourselves. But from the gist that I am getting at, supposedly orgies are for the most part okay, but there are a couple of fine print details that they need to cover in order for it to not be an illegal activity. First and foremost, you need to get consent. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, right? Like, if there's no consent there, then it turns into the RAPE, and that ain't cool, is it? And second of all is that you need to use protection, which again is pretty straightforward. But there is no like information about like the amount of people, like how many is too many people for an orgy? You know, like where does an orgy start? Where does it end? The limit is the sky. And second of all, there is no information on this website, at least, that points to anything monetary. So maybe that's where it gets a little illegal in Japan. Maybe you're literally paying for an activity that you consented to, and so maybe it's like some kind of money laundering scheme or something, or maybe they got in trouble because they were, you know, buying and selling illegal goods, quote unquote. It's really hard to say. The actual article itself didn't really cover it in their story, so it's difficult to say why exactly they were arrested. I mean, maybe it has to do with the whole public indecency thing, but I mean, if you're doing it inside of a house and every single person in that house had agreed to it and even paid a fee to participate in it, that's how much they wanted to participate in it. They were ready to fucking throw down some money to be involved in this history in the making event in Shizuoka Prefecture. So yeah, it's kind of difficult for me to pinpoint why exactly the public indecency law was smacked down in this particular case. I mean, again, they're doing it in a house. It's not like they're organizing it on the fucking streets. Or maybe, I don't know, when it gets to a ridiculous number like 120 people, maybe that just turns into a public. You know, maybe the fact that they had promoted this thing on social media so loud and proud for other people to see, maybe that's where the public indecency thing came about. But if that was the case, then every single OnlyFans girl who posts, you know, pictures on Twitter and Instagram that are very scandalous and lewd would also be charged for similar things. So I don't think that's the case, at least in Japan anyway. I don't know about the rest of the world. Either way, it's just absolutely hilarious for one, just mind-boggling too, the fact that these two people in their 50s managed to organize this. I mean, like, I'm just trying to think, like, how long would this have taken to actually organize? It's pretty difficult to organize 120 people into one event. You know, like, they couldn't even do that, you know, when they tried to Naruto run across Area 51, let alone, you know, doing something sexual and fairly dangerous as well. Like, this is shit that, like, not even the JAV world has managed to do. Again, I previously talked about that JAV video of 100 people in a room all having sex at the same time. But they've trumped that. They probably watched that video and was like, you know what? We can do better. Bring on 10 more couples and we will break that record. Like, I don't know what the world record is for the largest orgy ever held, but I'd say this is probably up there. I'd be surprised. I think I would have heard the story of more than 120 people in a house together just banging it out. And yeah, again, it's just so interesting that this is just another case of Japanese news stories either being 0 or 100, or in this case 120. So yeah, that was just like a short little story that I wanted to cover just because I thought it was absolutely freaking hilarious. Also, this video is probably going to be demonetized to shit, so hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to this channel because we're trying to make that big number go bigger. And over here next to my head is a couple more videos you can check out as well if you enjoyed this one. And hey, if there are any other like weird news stories like this that are coming out of Japan, let your boy know on Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't do orgies. Peace.